Blog Talk Radio.
Evening, and welcome to Body and Soul Awareness with Stephanie and Oxana. We're your hosts.
Hello,
Hi, Oxana. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Welcome back to our Sunday show again. How are you, Stephanie?
I'm doing good. I'm actually a little bit tired today. The babies had me very busy, and I was working on a science fair project all weekend long. Fun.
Science project for school?
Yeah. One of my friend's daughters had a science fair project due. So I've been learning all about oxidation of copper.
Ooh.
It's been actually very interesting chemistry lesson.
Who knows when you're going to use it, right?
Yeah, well, I know all about cleaning copper pots, and I know about cleaning copper jewelry, so that's good.
Mhm. All right.
Yeah.
So we're apart today again because of our busy schedules and how life is. And I'm looking forward to this interesting show this time around.
Yeah,
since we're going to be
a really, really good show. Let's go ahead and get straight into the homework for last week so we can go right into our discussion and introduce our special guest.
Sounds good. So last week, what did we do? We did ask everyone to be self-aware when a situation arises within you, when you are in reaction to somebody else's either words or action. How do you react? And then going deeper into yourself, figuring out, following that feeling, figuring out where did it come from, right? Is that what it was?
Exactly. Where in your past it came from. So you could start addressing the problem. So my homework led me back to my 15-year-old son, who manages to drive me crazy probably about 3 times every day at a minimum, about something or another. Part of it is I just really will never understand teenage boys. I didn't understand them when I was a teenager, and I still won't understand them now. So anyways, I felt really frustrated about something that he had said, and it led me to sit there and think, and I thought, why is it that what this child is saying to me is getting under my skin? What is it about it? And I realized that he was not, I felt like I wasn't being valued. I felt like all of the things that I do for him were going totally unnoticed. And actually he told me that they were invalid and it didn't matter that I did all the things that I did for him. And it really made me feel like unappreciated is the best way to put it.
Right, like the energy.
And I was like, hey, wait a minute. Exactly, like, hey, I do all these things for you. How dare you not appreciate me or not respect me for all of the things that I do for you? And it made me, like, really go back to, I guess, growing up where I kind of just let people walk all over me, no matter how much I did for them, no matter how much I was there for them when they needed me. it didn't seem to matter. Everyone would just walk all over me and mistake my kindness for weakness. And it literally made me think, you know what, I need to start drawing boundaries. And it's crazy that it took this long to realize that that's what the problem was. But like,
sometimes it does.
Yeah, there's some instances where you need to say, hey, look, I'm not going to allow you to do this. So you know what? I put his little butt on punishment. We were actually on vacation when it happened. So I didn't let him do any of the activities, so he was stuck at the resort in the room doing nothing, pretty much.
Well, consequences to everything, right?
I know, right? And then one day I told him, I was like, you know what, since you don't need me, since I don't do anything for you, how about you walk down the mountain to get to the activities and do it yourself? And he ended up walking like halfway down the mountain, and then he called me because he was so tired and he was so hot. And and I made him sit on hold for a little while. Actually, I think we were on the phone, and I told him to wait. I would call him back. And then he called me back, and he was like, I'm just going to walk up the hill. So I made him walk back up the hill, and he came back, and he didn't do anything. So pretty much I would just put my foot down, and I was like, you know, I don't care if we're on vacation. You're not going to be an asshole. You're going to be nice. I'm not going to do anything for you if you find me so unimportant in your life. How about that? So, anyway,
okay.
That was my situation.
So yeah, it pretty much led you to the feeling of being appreciative,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. Yeah, unappreciated, big time.
Right. Well, that's a good one actually, and it seems like there is something to it for sure to look into. So
yeah.
So did he? I guess it's for him to decide how he's gonna reflect upon this situation, right?
You know, he actually ended up on punishment as soon as we got back to the house, so it didn't really work too well. But we're gonna work on his little attitude. Don't worry. We're just going to start taking away his shoes. We're taking away the shoes. We took away the cable, actually, so he's not going to have that anymore. Soon I'm going to change the internet password so he can't use that.
Well, very good. Well, for me, I didn't have anything specific last week that happened that I had to look into. I was just finishing up my internal changes and shifts that occurred earlier, and it just was continuation of that, and I am somewhat on a similar kind of theme as you are, that I felt the hurt of not receiving similar energy back, the input of energy, the exchange of energy is not equal. So I had to look into that, and of course, also detachment and expectations are there, and I definitely went into that space, and I worked on it, and I'm feeling great. I've recognized what needed for myself, and I'm moving forward even lighter after that situation, and self-inquiry and reflection. So that was my homework this time around.
Cool. Well, I know we have a lot to discuss tonight, so let's get right into it. We have a special guest with us tonight. She's a very good friend of mine. I've known her for quite many years. And
how many years now? How many years do you know her, Tanya?
I don't know if I want to age myself that much. No, I'm kidding.
Go back like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. No, we grew up around each other as teenagers, but we've been closer friends, actually. We could say friends, 7, 8 years about?
At least 8 years.
Yeah, because Lovey.
Good number.
Yeah.
I know.
So Tanya Lowry is our guest. She is the co-founder of Eden's Balance. So we're very lucky to have her on. And there's a very special reason that we have her on tonight, because later on we're going to talk about a special detox retreat that we're planning for the Outer Banks of North Carolina this summer. So we're really excited about that.
Oh, yes.
Hello.
Very much.
Yes. Hey, Oxana.
Hi,
Yes.
Tanya. Welcome, welcome.
I
cannot wait for our retreat this summer. Cannot wait.
It's amazing. It's going to be so beneficial. It's going to be so beneficial. I'm really excited. Yeah, so we'll definitely get more into that a little bit later in the show. But I think something really interesting that we decided to do this time was kind of get a little bit into who we are, because we've had a few special guests and we told you a little bit about who we are and what we do. But tonight we're going to focus on Oxana and her business, Body, Energy, Awareness, and Movement.
Beam.
Yes, Beam. I love it. And I love
Oxana's Beam.
Yes.
Well, thank you, ladies.
No,
thank you for loving it.
Yeah. So, Oxana, I'm really interested to talk more about your philosophy and where Beam came from and how kind of it all started. So if you would, because we have about 15 minutes before the first break, if you would give us a really good kind of background on who you are and kind of how Beam came about.
Got it. Yes, I can do that. So I would like to start with, all right, so my background and how it is connected to establishing of my company, Beam, which is Body, Energy, Awareness, and Movement. I've started dancing since I was 6. So dance and movement has been always part of my life since I was very young. And it pretty much made my life very interesting, and it made a lot of twists and turns to my life, because that's why I came to U.S., this country, is because I was dancing, and I came with a dance company. So dance, and movement is just a natural to me. That's how I go through my life. That's one of way of communicating for me, and it comes naturally because I've, been doing this for so long.
Yes, you do it so beautifully. I've seen you perform, and I think flamenco was one of the performances. What was the other one that you did? It was in DC. I can't remember which. Hip hop, it was somewhat of a hip hop. I can't remember the other one, but then my favorite has got to be the performance that you did in Ecuador. It was so beautiful and so big. It almost moved me to tears.
Yeah, that was such a good time, such a memorable, special time. Yeah,
right on the ocean.
Ocean. It was candles. It was, beautiful dark sky with stars. It was gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Yeah, dancing was very almost non-physical there.
Right. Yeah, it was beautiful. I'm so glad I got to experience that.
Well, hey, maybe this workshop I can do something like that again for our workshop. Right?
I was already planning on having you do that. I just hadn't told you.
Awesome.
I'm sorry.
Awesome. Now I just have to get ready.
I know. So I totally digressed. Let's get back on track a little bit. Can you tell us how you decided to establish Beam, or why that actually came about?
So I realized by taking many workshops, have studied chakras and practiced and seen the improvement of how I feel, how I think, how I relate to people, or how I even relate to myself. So when I've gone through all of the practices that I've done up to this point, I've recognized that the main way I heal myself is through movement, is through movement of just a physical form, of the movement of the energy, of the movement, internal movement when you meditate through your heart. So movement has always been, for some reason, a very important part of my life. And I've recognized through that, I actually heal my internal wounds and my physical body. So,
wow.
And yeah, it's crazy. And it's funny because it was so apparent to me, but when little pieces come together, then you look back and you recognize, wow, that makes absolute sense. And
right.
it just was natural flow. So, and then when I started taking, life coaching certificate, when I started really getting to the bottom of, all right, what is my next step? What is it that I actually am here to do besides just the regular, three-dimensional life and, doing all the ducks, putting all the ducks in a row and the everyday bullshit pretty much of our system.
The game.
Besides that, what is my heart longing? What is it? How do I want to express myself and help around? Because my belief is if you live here and you already in a good place, at least more of a good place internally than you were before, then there is a progress, meaning there is something you can contribute to the rest of people that you've gained through your life because you've sensed the difference how you feel, right?
Exactly.
So anyway,
I think that's a very good point is that once you've experienced things, then it's easier for you to relate to others, so then you can relay your message pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and whether it be
so
through
I've established
or other forms of spiritual growth.
There are many forms. You're right. People heal themselves differently. For example, some people like it, talk it out. There are ways of going deep inside and pulling it out, and with tears, with sweat, with whatever you need to release it with, it will come out. My way, and I've done it that way as well, but my way is through movement. In fact, the other day, I found myself finishing up my shift that happened with movement. I was literally at the last point of releasing what I didn't need, and it was my own ceremony and my way of healing and releasing the end of it. So going back to the establishment of my company, so that was a natural flow of this is what I do anyway for myself. I move, I heal through it, I connect to the consciousness, to the oneness, and why not establish something that will help others? So it is established. Now I have classes. Some are developed and fully completed and ready to go. Some are almost done. Some are in development still. And, of course, I have so many other ideas that, just give me time.
I know there's almost too much information to get out there.
Yes. So that's kind of a short bio and background of why and why I'm where I came from what point, and why I'm here now with these classes and company that I've established, and why do I want to help? I've recognized I don't want to live in an unhappy society, so why not help others to find what it is that makes them happy?
Right, and we're all here together. If we have to be here together, why can't we just work together?
Yeah.
And
love yes. But if I would like to briefly kind of describe what my classes would do in general, so people get an idea what it is, and then I can go more into depth of how the body and body energy grid is constructed, so people understand
That's a
why
great idea. About 10 more minutes for the break. So go ahead and tell us all about your classes and what they entail, and then we'll get more into the guts of it all when we get back from the commercial break.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. So the classes will be targeting our physical form through a specific set of movements that I've developed, and they will be addressing mainly the joints and muscles, because energy flow flows through body as well, but it's the most dense body out of them all that I will describe later. But the first step in my classes will be the movement of actual body, and certain steps that will be rotating and stretching the muscles. Then energy flow movements will be actually addressing energy bodies through which, physical healing will actually occur. And by energy, I mean we will be connecting to our personal grid through chakras, meridian channels, the emotional bodies, the thought, the focus. So that will be affecting our energetic state. And that will be mainly done through energy movement and focus. Then we will move into more of meditation, and I will be mainly concentrating my classes on heart-opening meditations. I might be eventually taking people more higher into space, but honestly, by doing all of the meditations for many years now, I've recognized that a lot of times going beyond 7 chakra is not necessarily that important as more as opening up your heart chakra.
It's
chakra.
So funny. It's so funny that you say that, because I remember back to one of the first spiritual retreats I went to. It was at Yogaville, and I think we went to that retreat together, and we were done with one of the classes, and they were talking about all the chakras and opening chakras, and I was asking all these questions to one of the older yogis, and put her hand on my chest, and she said, all you need to do is focus on your heart. And it's so funny that that's one of the first things I remember on my spiritual journey, and it comes full circle all the way back to that now.
Yeah, and it makes sense because all the different spiritual philosophies and religions oftentimes boil down to that, love. Yeah, being an instrument for love.
Well, because
that's the problem is people's interpretations of that sometimes.
Yeah, because that actually is the connection. You connect through it to people and to the rest of all of it, the oneness.
Right. And isn't that kind of the median chakra that connects you from earth realms and energies to higher spiritual,
sort of the balance between the two, the median ground?
Yes, it does. Yeah, the throat chakra is kind of the portal for the energy to go into the higher consciousness. But heart chakra is the main chakra that connects you to it, yes. And then it evolves through the throat chakra. Yeah,
I'm
right.
sorry, I cut you off.
No, but it's true. Like you mentioned, because my journey also started more going into the higher chakras and experiencing the realms that are not seen to the physical eye. But right now, actually, my main focus is more opening up the heart chakra, which at the same time is taking you to higher realms, only it's integrated way, all together with the physical form and all the other energy layers, bodies.
Yeah,
so very
the
interesting.
Is so important, I think, because I totally get what you were saying about doing all of the higher chakra opening and developing and going out in space. I spent so much time in space, and grounding is so important, especially for me because I like space.
It's a healthy show.
Don't take me wrong. I love going into space in my meditations.
Yeah, but it's so necessary to make sure you're grounded.
Oh, absolutely. I know. We do like to fly away, but we need to connect overall to our life here, and that's where the root chakra kicks in as well. For example, growing up, I knew I had disconnect to this specific life on this planet for some reason, meaning my root chakra wasn't activated or it wasn't working properly. I just didn't connect. So it took me some time to establish my ground red root chakra. But we're going more into chakras now. We're jumping ahead.
Yeah, we digress.
I know. So, but yeah, mainly this, and of course, my other classes, like my class that I would love to present to people now, will be amazing for, especially after a day at work, or of course anytime, but it will put you right where you need to be, kind of, after being not as balanced and harmonized internally. So this class will definitely address the physical form, the energy, and the spiritual with the open heart meditation. But then I also have classes that will specifically concentrate on chakras, and really people would really get in touch with that, and we will have different type of exercises using music, using like sound, and music is amazing for that. We can use colors, movement. I have so many ideas, and it's almost, it's almost done, but it still needs some final touches. It's in development stage. And then I will have classes with, in fact, I'm playing with a class where it's just a free flow movement. Okay. But I will be using specific music that affects specific body, the emotional, the mental, all of those, where people can feel and heal and cleanse through the sound, connecting to every part that speaks to him within the body. But they will be moving naturally, so it will be a natural process of healing with movement. Then I also have class where it's infinite rotation. It's going to be very energized class where we will concentrate on rotating our joints. So I literally called it rotate those joints.
I love it.
Yes. So
not roll those joints.
No, just rotate them. The rest is up to you, right? So so those are going to be, that class is going to be great by opening up the flow of energy and releasing the blocks of stagnant energies. In fact, I can give a little bit more thorough description of my class. I actually have it in front of me, which will give a better idea.
Yeah,
the first class is
give us that information, and then we'll go to a break.
Perfect. All right. So mindful moving meditation class that I already have. It's overall embodiment, concentration, expansion, expression, cleansing, recharging, healing body, mind, and soul. The class teaches how to increase energy flow within the body by breaking energetic blocks of stagnant energy. Movement will trigger every cell to awaken and recognize the connection to the life source. Some cultures call it chi. It will open the meridian channels through which the energy flows by nourishing and energizing a body. Meridian channels create an energy matrix in which body resides, and the meridian channels act as a network of communication between physical, the more subtle energy, and spiritual bodies. So my class will present the ability for participants to learn a set of movements that targets joints and muscles by breaking and releasing stagnant energy and expanding the energy body. They will learn what major energy portals are and how to maintain them in activated state. They will learn how a thought pattern affects the flow of energy within an energy body. And the participants will learn a heart-opening meditation and experience a feeling of oneness and expansion. And as one becomes more energetically healthy, the physical form improves and the healing in the body occurs. The heart expands of self-love and feeling of oneness, and the mind is able to be an observer of every individual activity, such as a thought, feeling, and action, by leading a harmonious state of living physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So this is overall what the class presents, and the rest of the classes are mainly going to be concentrating on smaller aspects of the overall class that I just read.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I tell you, I can't wait to take the class, that's for sure.
I cannot wait for you to come and take it.
I know, I'm going to come. So,
now
for the break. So let's go ahead and go on a commercial break, and we'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Sounds good.
Get ready for the epic new documentary adventure ride of your life. Shade the Motion Picture. Hub you into the globalist domain and embellish and Burma's film.
Nothing in this world works the way you think it does. Nothing. Governments do not operate the way you think they do. Banks do not do what you think they do. The police department is not here for what you think it is. Nothing in your world works the way you think it does.
We are here to let them know that their world government has been identified, and they thought they'd include the world economy to bring in a worldwide police state, but instead it's going to bring them down.
You have to stand up, speak up, speak out.
Shade the Motion Picture. Order your copy of the DVD today at shadethemotionpicture.com.
This is Mercy. If you're listening to this message, warriors, you are the resistance. Warriors, you are not alone. There are pockets of resistance all around the planet. We are at the brink. Read about it in The Sovereign, newspaper of the resistance. Available now at newsstands everywhere. The Sovereign is a monthly 24-page tabloid newspaper featuring incendiary content about life during wartime in the age of Obama. Warriors, keep to date every month. Remember to read The Sovereign, newspaper of the resistance. Available at newsstands everywhere. This alert is for all you boppers out there in the big city, all you street people with an ear for the action. This is Mercy. If you're listening to this message, warriors, you are the resistance. This is Mercy. Mine will be the last voice you will ever hear. Don't be alarmed.
Does the media ever deceive the public?
A white plane, a very big jet, was flying in an unusual pattern near the White House over Lafayette Park. Very slowly, it made one circle and then...
Are the media and their sources trustworthy?
New York State and New Jersey will get their first doses of the swine flu vaccine.
The H1N1 virus has made thousands of people across the country sick. Many have died, and some worrying that it could grow into a full-blown pandemic.
Where does our mainstream media get their news?
All this enjoyment is brought to you by all the things sweetened with NutraSweet.
There's a reason why we want to own these guns.
We're going to have to come together and take meaningful action to prevent more tragedies like this.
That was President Obama Friday suggesting it is now time to reopen the national debate on gun control.
The media tends to march in lockstep with the government.
Who is responsible when the media fabricates the news?
When the public is constantly fed messages that are potentially leading us into a war that may not be necessary, it's not fair to the American people, and it's not fair to journalism, because the truth isn't being told here. We found out that CNN International is actually making money from the Bahrain regime. They are a customer of Bahrain. Bahrain is paying CNN International to create content that shows Bahrain in a favorable light, to then air that content on CNN International.
Join us online at WilliamLewisFilms.com. That's WilliamLewisFilms.com.
How would you like to make your work more enjoyable, be more creative and relaxed, all while sitting at your desk? That's exactly what my Serenity Rug has done for me. This revolutionary footrest, I can't even call it a footrest, because this thing encourages movement of your feet, which results in more blood flow. While traditional footrests advocate the motionless placement of your feet, I found that I'm unconsciously digging my feet into the long, soft grass strands of the Serenity Rug. It delivers an incredibly relaxing sensation that closely resembles the feeling of an exotic foot massage. If you have ever had a foot massage that made you want to stay there for hours, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not heard about the Serenity Rug, check them out at serenityrug.com and join the exclusive Serenity Rug community and enjoy a feeling of comfort and relaxation that most will never experience. They've sold out before, so I suggest you do your feet a favor and grab one of these. Again, that's serenityrug.com.
All right, everybody, we are back. And as usual, I forgot to tell you that you can call us at 347-324-3704 if you'd like to chat. If you have a question for either us, Stephanie or Oxana, or our special guest, Tanya. You can also chat with us live at freedomizerradio.com, and you can field any questions there. And I actually already have a few questions coming through for you, Oxana. So let's get right into the second part, where you give us a little bit more information about this energy stuff you keep on talking about, like the chakras and the grid, the meridians. Yes.
All right. Yes. Well, I guess just before we go into more detail, I can allow the visual for everyone. For example, we kind of know everyone kind of knows that inside of the body there is a structure, right? There is, system of organs. Like Stephanie, you know, because you are into nutrition, you know all that stuff, how each organ corresponds with whatever food, you know, what you need to eat for what, and so there is a system. It's like a life system. So the same with the grid, the energy grid that body is residing in. It's also a system, but it's energetical system. It's almost like electricity, nervous system. And the whole grid is connected to the higher realms. So tells you that we are not like a separate being in a physical form. We are actually connected to it all. So, and the main reason, purpose for us to be able to maintain all of the energy flow within us in a beneficial way is because we will receive more life from already given source. So we will connect to our source of life. You will have, overall better health, better well-being, thoughts, everything. You will be overall integrated as one complete human being in a healthy way. So that's kind of like an overall for imagination what it is, because we are not just body, we're energy as well. Because atom, the energy consists of atoms, right? So
right,
and the cell consists of atoms. So it is all energy. So somehow we are connected, and we're connected to the higher realms. So I guess the question is, how do we connect with and activate all of our bodies that I've been talking about, like you're saying? For example, we have physical body. Then I typically label them as 3 bodies. So I call them physical body, and then I call energy body, and then I call spiritual body. But to go more in depth, the first is the physical form, because it also creates its own energy grid. Because when all the organs function within the body, it creates some sort of heat. It creates some sort of energy. So our physical body provides this natural energy layer that we have just for the functions of because of the functions of the internal organs. And then the second step is the energy body. But that energy body consists of 5 subtle bodies, which are etheric layer, which is the next layer to our physical body. Then it goes the emotional layer, which is the next layer next to the etheric. Then it goes the lower brain, mental body. Then it goes the higher mental body, which is the heart, actually. And after that, we go into the kind of I call it portal. It's our it's our throat chakra. And yeah, and we call it casual. I'm pretty bad at saying that word, but it's causal body. It's where it's kind of like when the let's say energy goes beyond the higher mental body, right? And it's a doorway to our higher consciousness. It links us to the higher consciousness. It's kind of like a portal. That's why I call it a portal. And then we go into soul body, spiritual body. And the last one, I also plug it into this spiritual body. It's more integrated spiritual body. That's where it's the crown chakra, and that's where all of those layers connect and intertwine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where our
like what you're talking about is more like Eastern philosophy kind of stuff. Do you know where the information came from? Like,
I'm
is it Hinduism?
Yes, I'm more connected to that because Western side have not really approached energy from that perspective. So it's more of a, either quantum physics or which I also go into, and there's a lot of good in that. Right. But yes, I've studied more Eastern philosophies, and that's where the wisdom is, mainly about all the energy portals and all the meridians, right? Because of acupuncture. Acupuncture came from East as well. So
you're right. Yeah, a lot of the philosophies that I deal with too, as far as nutrition and healing from that aspect, are concerned are Eastern philosophies. And I want to say because I've found that Western philosophy is good definitely for finding out what's wrong with you specifically by testing through blood work. Yeah. Exactly. You can find out through blood work. You can find out through testing, whatever, to see exactly what's wrong with you. And it's kind of nice if something is badly injured or broken, right, to be able to see what's wrong with the bone so you can fix it properly, whatever.
Information gathering.
But then other than that, I found that all they really do is give you Band-Aids to fix problems, and it's not really fixing problems, it's just covering them up. And after so many years of covering up these problems, then you have
the disconnect between you're not communicating with your body, you're not allowing your body to communicate with you, and having to put outside sources and intrusions into your body when we're born with the ability to heal,
like prescription drugs.
And it's all, even that stays in the energy form as well,
Yeah.
So what kinds of things cause disconnect between the different bodies within yourself, and what is the result the outcome when there's that disconnect between your spiritual body and physical body and so on?
Well, for example, the next step after physical body, etheric and then emotional. So emotional body, in fact, it's a keeper of our feelings, right? It is like here where we keep our fears and joy, all different types of feelings, opposite feelings as well. So, and when it doesn't properly, for example, let's see, we haven't gone to the chakras yet, and chakras, they supply energy through meridian channels, and they go into the layers, our etheric layers and emotional body and the mental bodies. So when those chakras are properly working and they're supplying proper amount and proper levels and quality of energy to our physical body from etheric realm, from the consciousness, the connection to the actual energy, free radical energy that is not stagnant, that is not damaged by chemicals, none of that. When we have proper connection to that, then we are in harmony, in physical harmony, in spiritual harmony, in emotional harmony. So to answer your question is, it's when we think negatively. One, we don't eat properly. We don't move our body. We keep energy, stagnant in our body.
We don't appreciate our body. Exactly. And that's so
right.
true.
So it's all comes
whether
from
you're upset and you don't eat, or whether you're upset and you overindulge in cake. Either way, you're not taking care of yourself.
Right.
You're right.
Right. So it's everything that is not beneficial to you. That's what damages connection to your source from which you actually receive main food is energy. Because energy is either pure energy or it turns into doesn't only turns into fat or something if it's not used. So it's either used for something or it's not
it's present in fat or it's released from your system.
And also energy condensed is mass. So if your energy is building up, it would make sense that it would create blockage.
Absolutely, yeah. There is no flow. And I've experienced that. I've experienced how the energy bursts out of your body and it breaks the stagnant blocks. And then first it's kind of painful, and then the flow starts going, and it's a different feeling, So, but yeah, going back to the subtle bodies, the energy bodies that we have is they are around us. They're around the body. So after the physical, it's the etheric body, and it's just a little bit lighter in the frequency realm than just the human physical form of vibration. And it's connected to our base chakra, our root chakra, the etheric body. Then the emotional, then the next one is the emotional body. And it's our third layer, and it connects to our sacral chakra. That's what we were talking about. It's the feeling. That's where we keep our feelings. And if you emotional and unstable, that means that your sacral chakra not properly working, meaning it's not receiving proper nutrition, aka energy, from your emotional body. So that means it's a hint, you gotta look into your emotions. What emotions are you receiving? Are you healthy? So, and then the next one is the lower mental energy body. And just please know there are two of them. They're lower and they're higher. And lower mental energy body it's connected to our brain. But brain, remember, is connected to our ego, survival of this in the planet. So, and the reason it's tricky because the higher mental body is connected to our heart. And it's very different. Heart thinks with feelings and brain thinks with thoughts. So lower mental, lower mental body.
Intuition? Which one would intuition feed into?
Intuition will be higher mental body, is the heart. Yeah.
Okay.
But actually intuition is your third eye. But you feel it through your heart. Yeah, it's third eye, it's the visual. It's the internal visual, you know it. But it comes through your heart, but at the same time, if the feeling is off, you feel it in your solar plexus, right? Like it's tight or unhealthy, tense. Like it means then there is a conflict, internal conflict with the either feeling or action or thought, all that stuff. And then after that, that's where the energy bodies kind of stop. Those are four energy bodies, layers. It's the etheric, it's emotional, then lower mental energy body, and the higher mental energy body. And then the next one is the portal. It's our throat chakra. That is the where, and I kind of like that body, energy body, because that's where our gifts and talents are stored. Either it could be even from previous lives, from any event possible, but that's where they're stored, and we have full access to them if that chakra is functioning properly. So everything is so interconnected, and you'll work on one thing and it will improve your communication. You'll work on another thing, it'll improve your intestine functioning. You'll have a better digestion or better skin. Whatever. It's so many things that people can work with without taking medicine.
Right.
So, yep.
That causes side effects and more problems.
And more problems after that. Yeah, and in fact, medicine blocks the flow of energy within our system and body.
Yes, it's another toxin that your body doesn't understand.
Another one.
Another way to get in between, so that you're not listening to what your body's trying to tell you.
Exactly.
Quieting your body's voice in a way.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It's tough. So after we're done with the energy bodies, then we move into soul body, meaning spiritual body. And that is where our spirit, our essence, our spirit resides. That's where the inspiration and spiritual visions filter down to our soul. That's our third eye chakra. And like Tanya was saying, intuition, that's the one that addresses intuition. That's, if it's functioning properly, then you will be trusting. You will be trusting your intuition, and it will be clear. That's where our higher awareness resides. Then we can certainly, and then last body is integrated spiritual body, and that one is connected to our crown chakra. And it's the level where all of them merge, all the aspects merge together, and, you are integrated spiritual being when the last layer is functioning properly, and you have full access to pretty much power, energy source power. So through those layers, you're functioning like that. That's your bodies. You literally, physical form resides in those energies. And in fact, the reason they're laid out like that is if we were get too exposed to the last layer, which is our soul, spiritual body, the physical body would not sustain that because frequency is too high.
Right, because your physical body is too dense, right?
Yes, the energy, that's why we can see the physical form, is because the energy is very dense and slow. And the rest of the bodies, they're not as dense and they're much faster. The energy is faster frequency.
Right.
So, and we don't see them because of that. We can feel them, especially shamans or healers that use energy for healing. They can feel all of that. In fact, people can feel their energy if they just do it, because it's very easy. And one in my classes actually will be going into feeling the energy of your body and how you can reconfigure your chakras. And
nice.
If you need to activate.
I have a question for you. So, how does your aura relate to all of this? Is your aura like the collective of all of those energy bodies?
Actually, it's different.
Okay.
The aura, the difference between aura and chakras, the aura changes as you go through life. Aura is kind of mood based. It depends where you are kind of in today. You're feeling great and joyful, your aura will be probably yellow, orange, gold. Or, if you feel heightened in spiritual realm, it'll be more purple. So I believe, actually, I haven't delved too much into auras, but I know that they are changeable more. And whereas chakras, they're rooted, they're fully, integrated in our system, in our body. So they don't change. They either get more activated or they depleted, but they're always rooted. They're always all the same color as they are. But auras, they change. It depends. Last week you were feeling great and your aura says that. Yeah.
You're more unique to the person and situation.
Yeah, and also you can, if, for example, you're in a company of people that, not of your frequency, your aura get affected by it. You will feel it. You will see it. People that will see it, they will see it. But you will feel, drained or
your energy
something
drained.
like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's aura. That's what kind of get affected when you are going through your life. But chakras are more, solid portals in your system.
Right.
So we can go into more, I can go more into the meridian channels, how they connect to chakras and what they serve and, a little bit about them. Or we can do it. You want to do that?
That's a great idea. We have a few more minutes for the break, so go ahead and get started, and then we'll go to a commercial break in a few minutes.
Actually, I had a question for you, Oxana.
Sure, yeah.
Did you personally have a certain chakra that was more not in the best of shape when you began on your spiritual journey? And also, I know that dancing was an extension, helped you, but how did your knowledge of chakras and your spiritual journey help affect your dancing too?
Okay. Yes, my chakra that requires more work is my heart chakra. In fact, I know that my higher, let's just say higher mental body, which is my heart, does not have a problem. It is open. I'm here talking about what I can do for people on the radio, That's, people that already have service to others, they typically have already very good activated heart chakra, but the element of it is my personal internal heart. I guess that will be the lower mental body where we connect to our heart through kind of thoughts and even maybe feelings. It's the personal matters. It's the, how we call it, broken hearts, by relationships or families or whatever, you name it. So my main challenge is opening up that heart to be still open and vulnerable and not be affected by the world that decides to treat you in a way that you don't deserve to be treated, right? So I would say, yes, heart chakra. And I know I've made big progress, but I know that it still needs to be maintained. So, and going back,
that's definitely something that a lot of people
well, it's a lot, yeah. A lot of people do have struggles or challenges in heart chakra because we've been so bad to each other, you know.
Sure. No, exactly. That's a good point.
But going back to the chakras and how they assist in my dancing, it balances you. You know, First, I would dance through chakras. Like I would rotate them visually, even if I sit in a car. I really do feel the difference when I'm off and when I'm not. And I know that if I'm off, working on my chakras, maintaining them during that time would help me. So it would naturally help my dancing because if I am feeling balance internally, I would feel balanced on the stage, in the studio, or in my living room. It just improves your feeling of, one, even wanting to express yourself, and two, how you express it. Is it joy or is it not joy? So I would say when my chakras are more activated and working, I am more in a pleasant space when I'm dancing. Right. And, of course, it helps physical form and the flow of energy. All of it. How does that work, Tanya?
We have to go on a commercial break, but when we get back, we're going to get more into the meridians that you were talking about.
Okay,
and
cool.
How all that relates, and then we will talk more about our retreat and then get into the homework. So we're going to take a break.
Awesome.
And
all right.
I like the way you grow it, no pesticides. I got to box it up. I like the way you grow it, so locally. I got to box it up. I like the way you grow it with no GMOs. I like the way you twerk it, no diggity, no doubt. We've got squash and peas, pollinator packs for all your bees. Melons you wanna squeeze. Yes, please. Yes, please. Hey, now that plant looks good. I wanna grow it. I wanna taste it. Yeah. Tomatoes in full effect. Always in full effect. My girl Tilly's in full effect. Yeah. Peaceful Belly Plant Sale 2014. Ha ha! Yeah!
Search YouTube for Freaks of the Garden. PeacefulBelly.com. Support your local organic farmers.
Did you see this? The EPA wants to regulate water in our ditches now. Our ditches are dry most of the time. There's hardly ever any water in them. That's enough.
with a brand new rule. They want to regulate us more. They've tried before and we said no. Why should they control what doesn't flow? Agriculture's safe, that's what they say. It's what they always say. That's enough, that's enough. Can't take away anymore. That's enough, that's enough. The EPA and the Corps, they will try to justify, but we won't back down. Don't need more government anyway. That's enough, that's enough. No more power play. That's enough, that's enough. We won't back away. What can we do to ditch the rule? Tell the EPA. Don't need more government anyway.
Tell the EPA it's time to ditch the rule. Ditchtherule.fb.org. This is a message from the Missouri Farm Bureau. Contact them at 573-893-1558.
All right, we are back on the air. Hello. Yes, hello. Everyone. So, Oxana, let's get right into these meridians. I know, I love that commercial. We don't need no government anyway.
I love it.
I know, but I don't want to run out of time before we get to get a little bit more information from you on the meridians and how that relates to the energy grids and chakras and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So like we talked before, body consists of, cells, and then cells are composed of atoms, and atoms made of energy. And energy runs through our body, and that energy is actually life source itself, right? And it runs through network of pathways in the body, which we call meridian channels. So they're literally pathways through our body, and through those channels, the energy source travels. We call them meridian channels. And when we go and do acupuncture, there are, also points that healers know, which is connected to meridian channels, and that's how the healing occurs, because every channel also connects to a specific organ.
Right, and there's thousands of these energy channels throughout your body, right? It's like
many.
Your nervous
There are many.
Okay.
I don't even, there are many of them, yes. But I only will mention 12 of them because they're kind of a main 12 meridian channels in the body, and they connect with a specific element and specific organ within our system, the body. So they're divided into feminine and masculine, yin and yang. And when we speak of meridians, it's better to visualize it, like the body. And if you could visualize, for example, let's just say arms. Take arms, for example. The yin, which is the feminine energy, connects to lungs, and the masculine energy connects to the large intestine. And the meridians run from the yin runs from torso from the up torso into your fingers, internally, like inside of you. So that's the female. So if you think of female and male, yin and yang, so all the female energies run on the front of your body, kind of internal, inside of your legs, inside of your arms, in front. and the masculine energy runs on the back. So,
okay.
So the same goes for, like, for example, legs. Let's just take leg. And masculine connects to stomach, and feminine connects to spleen. Then also, if we go into heart, that's also female organ, and it's also connected to the arms. And the small intestine connects to the arms, but it's the masculine. And continue. So there are 12 of them. And honestly, people can easily look it up. I can go into that, but
it seems like
it's
a lot.
mainly it's a lot. Absolutely, yes. So, but just to visualize the meridian channels, the masculine runs from the back torso to the back, and the feminine inside and front. Those are the channels.
Okay.
And through those channels, the energy flows, and the main portals for those meridian channels is the chakra system, because we cannot maintain. It's kind of like the nervous system. It runs throughout the body, but the main energy vertex, is those chakras, 7 chakras. And when we work on them, we are supplying energy to our body through those meridian channels.
Okay, I just kind of want to go back to what you were saying earlier about how you work on your chakras by visualizing them while you're driving. Just because I think that's a really practical, easy way to implement a good habit into your life. So how did you do that? Like, when you imagine your chakras and you imagine them opening, what does that mean? Does that mean they're spinning in the right direction? Does it mean it's the right color? Does it mean it's brighter? Does it mean it's dim? Does it, how does all that work?
Okay. So when chakras are, because everyone has those portals, if they are not activated, then you simply have lack of energy, and you are not plugged in. It's like as easy as that. You pretty much are not plugged into your source energetically. You somehow receive it somewhere here, but you are not receiving full amount from the conscious pool of pure conscious energy. Right. Then if they're, and typically if they're under-reactive, they're not fully developed, or working activated, then person just doesn't have full, everything means different things, and I can go through every chakra, but person is not living its full potential. And if they're over-activated and working too much, it's typically shown in a very, let's say, egoistical style of life. It's more, everything is surrounded around you, and we're not talking about self-awareness and self-love. We're talking about materialistic approach. And sometimes even if you are, crown chakra is over, it's working too actively, I guess, it's a spiritual ego as well, where, people that have awakened go into the space where they, in fact, are judgmental of other paths that people take. So that can happen even on a spiritual realm. So what I do, every chakra has a color. And in my class, I will be going through all of that, and I'll be going through the root chakra that is red. I'll be going into the sacral, which is orange, into the solar plexus. It has a color of yellow. Then heart, you imagine color green. Throat is blue. Third eye, it's your forehead between your eyes. It's a color of indigo, and then the crown chakra, it's on top of your head, it's purple color. So when I drive, because I typically like to make sure I'm good in the morning, I get in the car and I start visualizing my red root chakra rotating clockwise especially if I'm listening to the music. With the rhythm of the music, it's starting to rotate clockwise. And you will have a feeling, internal feeling, whether you're done concentrating on that chakra or you need more time. Sometimes you feel more off balance, and that's where you need that foundation, that connection to this physical life here on Earth. And that's when you work a little bit more on that. What I do is I will activate in the morning every chakra as I go through it, and then I'll start rotating them visually at the same time. Or I can start with root chakra, go into the sacral, and start rotating them at the same time. And when I feel that I'm completed there, then I'll move to my the solar plexus chakra and start rotating that one and add it to the second and the first chakras. So see how I'm doing? It's like I'm starting with one, adding the second, third, and then I'm activating all of them. And what you do, you simply place focus in that space. And where focus goes, energy flows.
Exactly. I love
Just
that.
like we, I believe, Steph, we discussed some time ago, simple exercise of feeling energy by moving a finger on your palm, right?
Yes. You use
So,
your fingers, pencil, and put it in a circular motion on your other palm, and you can start to feel your energy actually circulate. Yeah. So you're placing the focus, you're placing the physical, I guess, touch, but you're also placing the focus there, and you start activating and feeling energy there. So the same thing with chakras. As you place internal focus into your chakra, and you measure the color of it, and on top of that, if you have grounding music, more of a drums or something, then you can start working on the chakra, and then you go up, each chakra up, and you will feel the difference. It's simply, that's why it's very hard to speak of concept of energy using words. And I remember talking to somebody, well, I know who it is, but a friend of mine, and she said, well, if you're interested to do that, you will need to learn how to speak about energy. And I'm like, oh my God, can I just play with my energy, instead of talking about it? Can I just say
it is.
Do what I do?
Because it's weird to talk about it because it's not seeing. You don't see it. It's not materialistic seeing.
Yeah.
It's a feeling. So me going through all of
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, so me going through all of these concepts of the energy layers that we have around us, of the energy system that we have internally in us, is kind of weird even, because if you don't experience it, it only sounds like, a colorful book with fun stuff to do, to read about.
Right.
Just conceptual, very conceptual. But when you start going through it and practicing it, you feel the difference.
That's why your class is so important, I think, because people will actually get to experience that. They'll get to feel through the motion that you teach them. So, all right, we have about 10 minutes left till the end of the show.
Okay.
So if there's anything you'd like to close with, or any last words you had for anyone on your business, what would that be? And then we'll get right into the retreat and then the homework.
Awesome. Well, what I can say about my business is what I've learned and experienced up to now is when you start diving into some information that you've never have approached before, it's a hint. Something is changing. That means you are on a certain path, which I call evolution of your soul. There is a physical evolution that we've gone through, from when we were not what we are now, and there is also soul evolution, which continues. So it's either when you found, so my message is, if you found yourself on this path, my classes and my business is one path to get to where you will be going anyway. Everyone will be going to the evolution of a soul. Wherever you are, you will get to the point where you need to be. But my classes is one path to get there. And you can either resist on your journey of evolution, or you can flow. And I can help to flow with my classes.
You're the easy way, baby.
Yes, we'll flow in my classes in movement and heart-opening meditations and feeling and releasing. I'm so excited. Cannot wait.
I'm really excited too. I can't wait to take a class. So, do you have any information?
Yeah, you do need to.
Class date, locations that you need to tell anybody about, or a website with more information?
Yes, everyone can go to my website. It's www.oxana, Gonchar, GONCHAR.com. All of my information is there. I have a phone number, email. You can connect with me through Facebook there as well. I will be posting. There are some classes there as well, including the classes that I've described. I have nutrition classes that Stephanie does. Then shortly I will be posting what we will be talking about next on my website. So please go to my website, oxanagonchar.com, and connect with me. And I'm looking forward to start teaching my classes and integrating myself as well, and supporting others on their journey. So, yes.
Hey, this is what we're here for, right? To enjoy ourselves and help other people on the way.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely.
So, all right. So I am so excited about the retreat that we're planning.
Retreat,
it's
yes.
called the Body and Soul Detox Retreat. It's going to encompass a lot of different things, not just the physical body detox. I'm sorry, guys. The baby wanted to talk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys talk about your portion of the retreat. I'll be right back.
Not a problem.
Okay. So I'm going to be doing. Oh, go ahead, Oxana. Do you want to?
Let's start the retreat talk and speak of the part that you will be contributing, because I personally don't know much yet of the input of yours, and I'm very curious to hear.
Well, real briefly, I'm going to deal with the emotional cleansing, since Stephanie is going to be getting into nutrition and eating and how you can use fruits and vegetables, raw diet, in order to detox your body of all the extra things from the environment through food. I'm going to deal with emotional cleansing and various things like releasing through different forms of writing, like journaling, free-form writing, to help clear out your emotions, and also release through, I'm sorry.
That's beautiful. That's very cool, because that's very, very good, because when people can express themselves through writing, through writing or drawing, then it's another way of releasing, right?
Yeah, it can be very therapeutic. And to help you figure out, also to help you figure out for yourself, because also it can involve free writing where you don't necessarily, kind of similar to meditation, where you don't necessarily have
bringing
a
subconscious
focus.
It's bringing subconscious to your conscious, because absolutely.
Yeah, I've been doing that actually recently, and even if you don't have time for writing, I've done like audio journaling, but we'll be focusing on certain forms of writing, and then also how to balance your emotions with different forms of meditation, and also different tools and guidance on how to implement it into your life. whether it be through unexpected stressors in your life, how to get it into your routine through your daily life to be proactive with detoxing and negative emotions and clearing them out, and just exploring different ways to aid yourself with emotional detoxing.
That's very good, and honestly, it ties very nicely with my classes as well. Is because what happened with my shift just recently is I have done the internal work, like specific work that you're speaking of, not necessarily through writing and drawing, but it was internal work. And then the last of it came out through movement. So I fully released that through movement. And I think it's going to tie it so nicely with your work that you're presenting.
Yes, there's all kinds of different things to use for that, yeah. And we'll also be doing like a small, short workshops on other tools you can use, like gemstones. I can use that.
Routines, stones are very
mantras.
Good. Absolutely, the meditations and mantras and trance. Actually, taking people into trance is very therapeutical as well. It can release without even going into too deep of thinking of it, you know.
It's going to be exciting to explore all the different types of ways.
Yes, and it's going to be on the beach. It's going to be on the beach.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, no, so it's going to be really nice. We're going to have a nice private house with a private pool. So there's going to be a lot of beach time, a lot of time for you to just rest and relax by the pool, read books on the deck. It's going to be really nice. But then on top of all of your emotional and spiritual detox, you get to do a food detox as well.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be facilitating that. So I'm really going to make people be accountable for everything that they put into their mouth by providing all of the food that you need for the detox. I'm also going to be doing instruction at each meal to teach everyone how to make good, healthy, raw, nutritious foods that give you all the nutrients and minerals that your body needs, while helping your body, eliminate all the stuff that it doesn't need. So, yes, I'm really excited about that, and I'll also be doing some instruction just about just general nutrition and how you can continue your detox going forward. So I think it'll be really great. I actually have all the information in the different packages that we have available on my website. It's edensbalance.com/body-soul-detox-retreat. And you can find that if you just go to www.edensbalance.com. It's in the sidebar. And you can get more information. If you have any questions about the retreat, you can send me an email. It's Stephanie@edensbalance.com, or you can email Oxana. What email did you want to use, sweetie?
My email is, it's actually a little bit long, but I still will give it out. My business email is mindbodyandsoul@oxanagonchar.com. It is long, but it's very easy. Mind, body, and soul. It's all letters, no dots, nothing. @oxanagonchar.com. You can email me anytime.
Yeah, perfect. And I don't even think I gave the date. The date for this retreat, the basic retreat, is going to be June 23rd to 26th of this year. And then if you get the upgraded packages, we give you 2 extra nights, so you get a lot more beach time and free time. But then you also get one-on-one instruction with
personal consultation.
And nice. Okay, so the date. Right. So the one package is from June 19th through the 26th, And then the next package
no,
is
it's
from 21st.
No, the first package is that's the 3-night package, which you'll get a really, really good amount of instruction. That's when most of the information is. That's from June 23rd to the 26th. But if you prefer to have the longer package, when you get a little bit more beach time, you still get more instruction one-on-one with us, but you also get some more beach time.
And the ultra.
Yeah, that's June 21st to 26th. And those are going to be really good because not only do you get more beach time, but I also do a kitchen cabinet clean out with you. And if you're local within 20 miles of me, I'll come to your house and do a kitchen cabinet clean out. And if not, then we can do it over Skype. So that way when you get back from your retreat, your kitchen is cleaned out and you have the good stuff that you need in your house so you don't accidentally cheat yourself.
Also,
Yeah.
I am contributing to those attendees that are attending our workshop this summer a discount for my everyday weekly classes. I will give them discount for my classes. So that's a little, little gift from me for those that will be attending the workshop. And the detox
it's going to be great. It's going to be so informative. It's going to be relaxing.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to go back to your life feeling rejuvenated.
And have the tools to maintain that feeling in your everyday life.
Yes.
Exactly.
And we provide
you get
tools
some nice
that
little
you can
bitties,
use.
Welcome Kickstarter kit.
Yes, we'll provide tools and knowledge that everyone can use to move forward in their lives. And that cannot be replaceable because you can do it on your own.
Exactly. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just going to leave you empowered to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yes.
So that's all the information pretty much for the detox. If you have any more questions, like we said, just send us an email and we can get you more information. One thing I do want to say about it is if you get your deposit in before April 15th, then you'll get $50 off of the registration fee, which is always nice to save some money. And then all deposits are due by April 22nd. So I just want to have you keep that timeline in mind. And then did you guys have anything else to say about the retreat? Otherwise, we'll just get into homework.
No, I think we covered it. Everything will be there. Everything that we present will be there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Oxana, will you please give us our homework for the week, please?
Yay.
Are you ready?
Come on,
teacher,
ready? Give us homework.
Are you sure?
Yes,
you better
give
be
it
ready.
to me.
All right. Well, you know I love homework.
Oh, yes.
I have a whole philosophy about that.
Well, I will be generous and I will give you a choice. So, in the morning, you have a choice. You either dedicate 10 minutes in the morning before you jump in the shower. I think it will be better if you do it before you go to the shower, is to either spend in quiet silence in meditation for 10 minutes and just position yourself, align yourself before you start your day. Or you have a choice if you feel more energetic or you feel you need to move your body more because of, something is going on in it. You can do 10 minutes slow movements that your body needs. You just have to listen to it, and wherever the pain or whatever your body needs to move, it will tell you. You just have to listen. And the reason I want this to happen in the morning is because you're more attentive to your being, to your real, pure thoughts. You're not bombarded with light thoughts yet. So you will feel, you'll feel your body a little bit cleaner. Yeah. So that's the homework.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you for having me, ladies. It was fun.
Thank you for joining, and thank you for joining the retreat.
The pleasure was mine. The pleasure was all mine. As always, with you ladies.
All right, Oxana.
Yes.
With our exit music.
Perfect. Everyone, good night.
Buenos noches.
Adios.
Bye.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had some cows, E-I-E-I-O, with a hormone here and a hormone there, here a moan, there a moan, everywhere a hormone. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he sprayed some crops, E-I-E-I-O. GMOs here and a pesticide there. Here spray, there spray, everywhere spray, spray. A small cage here and a tight cage there. Here a moan, there a moan, everywhere spray, spray. Old MacDonald had a New MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm the animals roamed. E-I-E-I-O. With a pasture here and some open space there. Here they roam, there they roam, never any hormones. New MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O, and that farm was chemical-free, with no GMOs, with healthy soil here and organic crops there. Toxic pesticides can say goodbye, no more toxins in our lives. New MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Go right now to YouTube. Search on New MacDonald. Watch this video all the way through. You will be surprised. What a great job. What a great message. And then please share this video with others. An important message from our new generation.